In this video, Kevin and I thought it would be fun. Well, I thought it would be fun. Kevin's just here for the ride.
I'm just...
Kevin has no clue what he's going to be asked in this video, truth be told. I thought it would be fun to talk about our school days. When we were in school. This is 20 questions of when we were in school.
Good luck, because I don't remember much about school.
It could end up being more questions, less questions, whatever, but there's 20 base questions here.
I might remember some of it, but some of it I might literally just go, I have no clue.
When you were in junior high / high school, who was your favorite singer or group?
Lord, I don't know.
See, I know that immediately. You don't remember if you bought cassette tapes or 45 records, or did you have a record player?
You know, back when I was in the 80s, you know, it was Michael Jackson and stuff.
Okay,
you know? So
well,
I guess Michael Jackson would be the top.
Okay, that's it.
But it was also Def Leppard and Men at Work and Duran Duran. I didn't listen to just one. I didn't have a favorite.
And Michael Jackson's a good one, because I can remember like when PLT came out.
I think everybody owned the Michael Jackson tape. I mean, if you didn't own the Michael Jackson tape, you weren't listening to pop music in the 80s.
PYT. That's
I thought you were going to say Pee-wee.
PYT is what. But yeah, everybody had Michael Jackson.
But I mean, I didn't have a favorite.
Do you remember how old you were when Thriller came out?
Oh, I don't know what year.
See, I remember very distinctly.
I remember being at church the first time I heard it.
It came out.
I know that sounds weird, but it was.
See, you heard it at church.
In somebody's car before we went into church that morning.
Okay.
It wasn't in church. It was before. It was at church, waiting for church to start. And somebody had the cassette in their car and was listening to it. And it's like, oh, that's a cool song. That was the first time I heard that. I
had no intentions of bringing this up, but the first, because this isn't my answer to this question, was Michael Jackson, was not my answer. It's something else. I'll tell you in a minute. It came out, Thriller came out when I was in 6th grade. And I remember it because it was all a buzz. And my mom was deep into the church. And she thought that she had heard that there was something bad about it.
Probably Thriller, about the something of the night and all that stuff. Yes,
that it was like the devil and that you shouldn't be listening to it. So I would go to school and all my friends were really excited about it. And they were going to play the movie at school.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And
the Thriller video?
The video. They were going to, the video. They were going to play it at school. And you had to get your parents' permission to watch it.
Isn't that hilarious? Because it was on MTV.
Well, I was in 6th grade, though. You're talking about 6th graders. True. And things are different with kids today know a lot more than they did then, I think. And so I remember it taking a lot of convincing to be able to participate with the other kids and get to sit in that room and watch that.
That's
because
fun.
My
That's
parents,
hilarious.
My mom specifically thought that it was bad. And I would, of course, you learn things from your parents, so you absorb that, and then you go to school and you repeat that. So I'm going to school being like, oh, you shouldn't be listening to that. And they're like, there's nothing bad in this. Here are the words. There's nothing bad to these lyrics, these words. And so I learned, hey, just because you hear something's bad, just like,
look into it yourself.
Look into it yourself. Yeah, just like at one time, the church people thought Pokemon were bad. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with
they're little
Pokemon.
Creatures fighting each other.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just one of those things anyway.
So what's your group?
Culture Club.
I thought that was what you would say.
Boy George. And I still love Boy George. I loved Culture Club, but I still love him.
He hasn't changed at all?
I think he hasn't changed a bit. I think he's awesome. His voice is still strong. And he was on The Celebrity Apprentice one year. And he was awesome.
Yeah,
he was incredible. This is going to be so hard for you because you don't remember anything. Who would you say was your favorite actor in high school?
I don't know. I don't have a favorite actor in high school.
I think
probably back then it might have been who played Indiana Jones and all that. Harrison Ford. Probably around that's probably around that same. Arnold Schwarzenegger doing the action movies.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Those kind of movies. Those are the people that I remember.
Mine is totally a girl answer. Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
Dirty Dancing and Roadhouse and...
He liked to swing his hips. And...
Yeah. Okay, what about actress?
I have no clue.
For actress, I'm gonna say Kathleen Turner, and I still love Kathleen Turner. But you have to think.
Of high school.
What was it? Romancing the Stone.
Yeah, that was.
Romancing the Stone was big, and then they had Jewel of the Nile, and then later on she did War of the Roses. And I just love her. I think her voice is sexy as it can be. I like her a lot. She reminds me has that Lauren Bacall kind of look.
I can't think of what actress I would have really liked back then. I just have no clue.
Okay, that's okay. Who was your favorite teacher in elementary school?
Lord. I remember who it was, but I don't remember her name.
You don't remember her name?
Was it Miss Farrah?
I can't imagine not remembering my teachers' names.
No. I'm pretty sure it was Miss Farrah because I had her in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. I'm pretty sure it was Farrah.
My favorite teacher, what did she teach? Anything specific?
No, I went to Dixie, which is like a complex school. We had complexes, and there was 3 rooms in the complex, and you pretty much just stayed in that one room the entire day.
Right.
I mean, we did specialized things
so
like
they
math.
all taught this different subjects.
Yeah, like I went to one teacher for math specifically, and I remember going to one teacher for like English, but everything else was done by her in that one room.
Right.
Yeah.
My favorite teacher, her name was Miss Campbell. And she still is around, Miss Campbell. As a matter of fact, the school it used to be the high school. They built a new high school in town, so now the old high school is now the junior high. It's named after her husband. But her name was Miss Campbell, and I had her in 5th and 6th grade. And she always, back at that time, you have to realize the age. I used to watch the show called Alice, and there was a character on there. Her name was Flo. Florence Jean Castleberry. It was her name. And Miss Campbell reminded me of her with her hair.
That's funny.
She still has the same hairstyle. She still looks exactly the same to this day. When I see her out, she looks exactly like she did then. She never ages. Never has aged at all. Same hairstyle and everything. So anyway, she was my very favorite teacher. Okay, so same question in middle school.
Don't have me clue the name. It was a math teacher. It was a man, but he was really big into computers back when computers were just starting. So he would let me come in there and play on the computers and stuff, on breaks and stuff.
Yeah. That's cool. And you don't remember his name?
No clue what his name was.
Mine was, his name was Dr. Price. And Dr. Price was the chorus teacher. And my parents had taken me when I was young to see Fiddler on the Roof. And of course, when I was young, it was like watching paint dry. It was like the worst thing.
Oh my God, this never end.
I thought it was never going to be over. It was just torture.
It's a long movie anyway.
Yes. And then I got to middle school, and I watched it in Dr. Price's class, and he brought an appreciation for that movie. He gave me an appreciation for Fiddler on the Roof. He gave me an appreciation for Lionel Richie. The song like Ceylon, I mean, we would do that. He brought me an appreciation for John Denver.
John Denver's got a good voice.
And he was so cute too. I mean, he was an older guy. He had gray hair and a gray beard. Maybe that's why I like that so much. But he just, he was talented. He played the piano and we sang, and I just thought he was fantastic. And I ended up having him again out at the high school for chorus. But that's my choice for middle school. So same question one more time for high school.
I did not have a favorite in high school.
You didn't have a favorite for high school?
Nope, I hated high school.
For high school, I'm going to say my favorite was, she was an English teacher, and her name was Mrs. White.
I mean, there were people that were not bad in high school, but I didn't have any that I wanted to go, like, be in their room and hang out with them or, look forward to their classes.
Mrs. White to me was the most memorable.
Yeah.
Besides Dr. Price.
I had a really good geometry teacher. I don't remember any of their names. He was good. I do remember Senor Garland was not one of my favorite teachers, but I do remember him. My Spanish teacher. It was a hard class.
And tell them what is so funny about Senor Garland.
What's interesting, I don't know if it's funny.
It's not funny. It's odd. It's very interesting.
When Tammy's mom passed away, we went to the gravesite, all that stuff. And Senor Garland has a gravestone like right behind her. He's not dead yet.
He's not dead.
But it's got his high school yearbook picture, like the picture like when I was in high school, his staff, like teacher picture is on the gravestone. So looking just like that.
So his teacher is going to be right. Yeah, and Kevin thought it was odd, first of all, that it's like, what are the chances of him being here? But that he would choose that picture, which is, it's a really old picture.
That has to be 30 years old.
Yeah, because like when you die, why wouldn't you want, like, this is how people have seen you for the last years. Why wouldn't you want people to recognize you like when you died, not the way you looked 20 years ago?
Yeah, because he was 30. It's literally been 30 years.
Yeah, and that's right now, and he's not gone yet. Yeah. So I can't imagine. He probably looks like a completely different person.
I mean, I liked him as a person, but I didn't like the subject, so I wouldn't do it. Anyway.
Interesting. Just another side note. Okay. What was your best friend's name in high school?
Philip.
Mine was Becky. This is going back now, we're switching back and forth to time periods. In elementary school, did you exchange Valentines for Valentine's Day?
In elementary?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, everybody did.
And how was that accomplished?
You brought them in and put them in a box. Everybody had a box.
So everybody had their
own little box.
Did you get to decorate your own box?
I'm sure some years we did. Some years it was just a box. I remember it seemed like one year they had like little, like nothing fancy, like little manila envelopes stapled to the board with your name above them.
Oh yeah.
And you just walked up and threw them in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the requirement, my memory is, the requirement was you had to give one to everybody.
Yes, and that should be the case.
You couldn't be,
yeah.
You're like, I only want to give it to 3 people because I only like 3 people.
Right.
You couldn't do that. You had to give one to everybody.
Or I don't like so-and-so, so
I'm not giving
so-and-so's not
them
good. Exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's...
Now, you could give the people you didn't like the ugly ones. Or not give them stickers. Or, something like that.
Like if your favorite character on there was Batman and Spider-Man, and then they had one of the Riddler, you might give somebody you didn't like the Riddler.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do you remember any of the Valentines?
God, no.
I know. I'm thinking maybe strawberry
shortcake. You're talking about back then, it would have been, things like that. Mario, Pac-Man.
Garfield.
Garfield was probably
Garfield, the cat. Yeah, those were some
Peanuts.
Yes,
was a big
Snoopy
one.
Was a big one. Yeah.
But beyond that,
maybe some Hello Kitty.
I mean, you're talking about elementary school. I mean, you're talking about in the 70s for me.
Yeah, it was 70s. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't even know what
70s for me.
I mean, back then you're probably talking about Mighty Mouse and stuff. I mean, Mighty Mouse is older than that, by the way. But I mean, that's the kind of thing you're talking about back that far.
I think there were even like Pac-Man, because Pac-Man was a cartoon. I think there were even like Pac-Man.
Flintstones. There were probably Flintstones.
Probably, yeah.
Jetsons.
But
I'm pretty sure Pac-Man was on there, and not Mario Brothers because that was years later. But Pac-Man and
mine was the same way. You would like decorate an envelope or a box and put it on your desk, and then there was a time during when the party would start in the afternoon, and then you would go around, everybody would get up, and there was a lot of hubbub and everybody's talking and stuff, and you would go around and put it in the box, and that was a lot of fun. Did you have, this is not one of the questions on this sheet, but that made me think of it.
Yeah, I think we're on question 4.
No, we're further down than that. When we did yearbooks, it was a big deal in our school because in elementary school, they would give out the yearbooks, anybody that had bought a yearbook, and then on I don't remember if it was the last day of school. It was
like the last day.
But you would get to take your yearbook, and literally every kid in the school was free to go wherever they wanted in the school to get autographs.
We didn't do it quite like that, but it was
It was literally a free-for-all. In the gym, you could be going to the first grade classes, the sixth grade classes. You were free to go anywhere in school to get autographs.
I don't remember specifically if that was the case. I think it seems like I vaguely remember that because I remember going up to get a teacher to sign.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had all kinds of teachers.
I just remember.
I still have a bunch of my yearbooks. And and I have teachers' autographs.
So they probably did do that. I just don't remember.
I wonder if they still do that these days in elementary. See, we don't have young kids.
You know what the problem is nowadays is when we went to school, we got our yearbooks like before school was out.
Yes.
Nowadays, they give the yearbook out like after school's out sometimes.
That's in high school. That's high school because they're big, thick, expensive, hard brown books.
With the paperbacks.
But now in elementary, see, we don't have kids, so you all can answer this for us. If you have kids, how do they do it these days? Do they still give them out before school's over?
So they can get people to sign
Yeah, because, I mean, it was just so much fun.
But the people that you want to sign them more than anybody are the high school ones. And the high school, you don't even get until after you left, which is silly.
Until you've graduated and you're gone. And then you have to go up back during the summer and pick them up. Yeah, that's true. So you did the same thing? That's
Seemed
interesting.
like we did do that.
It was so much fun. I wonder if kids do that now.
I don't even know if getting people to sign yearbooks is a big thing.
Oh, I think it's awesome. I hope you all tell us that they still do that because it was cool, and people to wish you best wishes, and for your teachers to say you were a joy to have in class, and that's neat.
Yeah, they have signature pages and all kinds of stuff.
Did you ever go on a field trip, and if so, where did you go?
Yeah, we went to a couple, not really far away, like Washington, D.C. or anything.
Oh,
we never did those. No. I remember in like 6th grade, it was the big thing in 6th grade to go to this some kind of park. It was probably like Natural Bridge or something. I mean, it probably wasn't anything. It seemed like a really far away place in 6th grade. And you stay in a cabin and all this stuff. And I remember doing that. I don't remember doing anything else, though.
We really didn't do much of anything. We went to Pepsi one time.
We went to field trips.
That's what I said, field trips.
Yeah, regular field trips to just this was an overnight trip.
No, I'm talking about just a field trip.
Yeah, this was like an overnight trip.
Like you leave school for just a few
we went
hours.
to all kinds of those.
Yeah, and we...
Of course, I was in Lexington.
Right.
During school, and there's thousands of different places to go.
Where I'm in a smaller town, you'd have to travel to Lexington to go to Pepsi and go through. But it seems
I bet you anything you went to the Opera House and saw shows.
No.
You never went to the Opera House and saw anything?
No, I actually got to do that down here in Leeds and
we
Andrew.
We went to the Opera House, Modern Dance. It's the first time I ever saw Modern Dance.
I never did that.
Yeah, we went to UK at the Singletary Center and listened to music. I mean, it was all.
I wish.
Like I said, I was in Lexington, so it was a big
Ashley,
town.
when she was little, if you'll recall, they went to the children's play, whatever it's called. It's like the...
I know you're talking about the children's...
Theater. Yeah, it was like a children's something.
They're younger actors instead of adults.
Yeah, and it was like something's children's theater, and she did that several times in elementary. But no, I never got to do that.
Interesting. Field trips are always fun.
Did you? Now this is we're jumping here. Did you ever take sex education? And if you did, what grade was it offered?
I did. It seemed like it was in middle school, though, by the health teacher.
Okay.
That's all.
So that was all you remember?
It seemed like one year we did it. I remember being in a health classroom one year, and then in another year we were in the gym. They had split up, boys and girls. The girls were in the girls' locker room. The boys were in the boys' locker room, getting the talk.
Right.
You know what? That might have been in high school.
Okay, that's what I was going to say.
That may have, I think where we were split up, that was in high school. And I mean, they were talking about condoms and how to put on condoms and all kinds of stuff. The one I remember from middle school where we were all just in health class was more theoretical.
Right.
It wasn't more practical like in high school because they knew all you nasty things were out there doing stuff.
Right.
Where they had to get in front of it.
Right.
In middle school though, I think it was just a health class.
Okay, for me, it was part of home ec. And
home ec.
Yeah, in home ec,
it was always health.
It was part of home ec, and you had to bring a note
we did too.
and get it signed.
Yeah,
now,
we did too.
knowing that I had to beg to see Thriller,
What do you think that conversation was?
I wasn't allowed to do it.
Didn't do it.
I had to sit in the library.
Yeah.
So all of my friends, I think it was me and maybe one other person. Yeah.
So did you do it twice? Did you do it in middle school as well?
Okay, so in middle school, I didn't get it at all.
Because you didn't get permission.
Because I didn't get permission. Because she believed
that was going to encourage you.
She believed that was something that should be taught at home.
Right.
The problem with that was
you have to be taught at home.
You have to be taught at home. Guess who wasn't taught at home? So that doesn't work unless you're actually willing to do it. But now in high school is where PE, they split you up between boys and girls.
Okay.
So we had girls.
So it's the same way for you.
Yeah, so I actually did have. They talk about diseases and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that
and
was
pictures.
It was in it was in 9th grade, and it was.
It had to be 9th grade because 9th grade was the only year I took gym.
That was the only year that we had to
grade.
take health and PE. So we had to take
we did.
health for 2 semesters
and you had to take PE
for 1 or 2, and so it was during that the health class.
I think mine was. Did we have 9th grade in high school?
Yes.
No.
I did. My middle school, I think was different.
Different, because mine was 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Mine wasn't. In Winchester, my middle school was 7th and 8th, and then you went to high school in 9th. So in 9th grade, I was in high school in 9th grade.
See, in Lexington, it was 10th, 11th, and 12th was high school, and I had to do that in 10th grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was a little different for you. I mentioned home ec. Did you ever take home ec?
I did take home ec.
And if so, do you remember anything about it?
I do. I took a home ec in middle school.
Yeah.
It was in my later grades though. It was like 9th grade or 8th grade, somewhere in there. I remember making a couple things. I remember making an apron or dress. Was it? No, it was an apron. I think it was an apron. Well, I mean, the guys had to take it too though.
Yeah.
I mean, it was required. The guys had to take home ec too. Unless you were one of the football or baseball team, and you didn't have to do it for some reason. I never understood that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's not right, is it?
That wasn't quite right. Well, I mean, I clearly was not playing sports back in middle school or any school. But I enjoyed it. We got to use the sewing. I think we made an apron. I'm pretty sure it was like an apron, but we got to use the sewing machine for that. She gave us the option of buying different kits, like stuffed, like sewing kits, and I bought a soccer ball. So I made a stuffed soccer ball, but you had to hand stitch it all.
Yes, yeah.
So you had the little patterns on there. You had to put them together, front to front, and sew them together manually, and then put the next one on and sew them together, and then you left that last one. And
wonder how long you had that.
I had that soccer ball for a long time. Yeah, I mean up until high school.
So did you have home ec in high school?
No, I took art in high school.
Okay, because that would have been one of those things that you could.
You had a choice though, but I always took art because I liked art better.
I
also like the looks of the teacher better in art.
I had home ec twice. Once was in.
I think we did cooking too.
Middle school.
I remember making peanut butter no bake cookies, the poop balls in middle school.
Really?
In home ec. No.
We made.
Well, I hadn't thought about that in years.
We made peanut butter cookies, but they weren't no bake.
They were ours was a no bake. I don't know that they didn't trust us not to bake.
Right.
I don't know. We can mix stuff, but I don't think we cooked anything.
So I had home ec in middle school, and I learned to we made a pennant, and it was a pennant that said Belmont, because that was the name of the school. And then we made a pillow, and you could choose either a star or a heart. And a lot of the girls picked stars, and a lot of the boys a lot of the girls picked hearts and a lot of the boys picked stars. But I think there were some that did both. Either, boys that pick hearts.
Were they a kit too? Like
Or
was it more just a pattern?
No, it was a pattern. You had to. It was a silky pattern material. You had to cut it out 2 pieces, but then you did have to sew it by hand, and you had to fill it in.
See, my soccer ball was fuzzy, like a stuffed animal.
Okay.
But it was like that big around.
Like felt?
No, like a stuffed animal, like furry.
Oh, well, furry.
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And then in high school, I had home ec, and we did some cooking. But then that's the one where we had to make a pair of shorts. And I cheated. I paid a girl I paid her to make my shorts for me because you had to use a sewing machine. I still can't use a sewing machine, and guess what? I don't care.
And a pattern,
I'm 49 years. Yes, you had to use a pattern. I'm 49 years old. I still don't need to know how to use a sewing machine or be able to read a pattern.
Because she has me.
Yeah, I would pay somebody now if I didn't have Kevin. Pay them off. That's what people make. That's how they make their living. I'm more than willing to pay you for your services. Yeah, so I don't regret it. Okay. Did you ever take wood shop?
In middle school, 1 year.
I did too. I took wood shop. Were you in any extracurricular activities such as band, orchestra, sports, chorus, etc.?
No, just art club.
You took art.
I took art club. I was in the art club.
Okay.
That was it.
And I was in chorus.
I was in band, but I mean, I was in like music class, but I never actually did anything with it. I faked saxophone for years.
You faked it?
Yeah, I just nothing.
I love.
There was a whole room full of us. I mean, if you're not playing it, he wouldn't know.
Did you ever get into trouble and have to visit the office?
I did in elementary school because me and a friend were fake fighting, and we got in trouble. We both of us got in trouble for fighting, and we weren't even really fighting.
Right.
And we took us to the principal's office, called our parents and everything. And we kept telling them we were playing. We weren't really fighting. We were playing. And like pushing each other and stuff. And getting each other in a headlock, just like friends do, acting goofy.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't believe me.
I never had to go because I got in trouble.
I got paddled once. I don't remember what it was for, though.
You got paddled?
Mm-hmm.
Kevin.
You know who kept the paddle?
Who?
The music teacher. The music teacher.
The music teacher kept the paddle.
He had the paddle, and it was wrapped up with about this much tape around a wooden paddle. It was about that long and a handle, and it had like tape on it that thick.
Okay, let me ask you a really gross question because it never happened to me. Did you keep your pants up?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah. No, I mean, yeah, that's a good question.
I mean, I didn't know.
Well, back then you're talking. I mean, they had to get permission from your parents and everything. I don't remember what it was about.
And your parents would have agreed to let you get paddled.
Yeah, it was just once.
That's
it's not
horrible.
like they beat you to death or anything. It was just like one good.
Okay.
I'm sure I deserved it for whatever it may have been. And you can clearly tell it did a lot of good because I don't remember what it was for.
Right. Did you ever have detention?
Yeah, a few times.
A few times?
But it was for not turning his work in.
I was...
I got in trouble for not turning homework in.
And that's why you got detention?
Like a lot.
I did once or twice because I was late. Because if you're late, like somebody like if you're late
when would
to
you
school,
do detention? High school?
High school. It was high school.
Yeah.
I was late. Like if you're late like 3 times, you get detention or something like that. So
they didn't keep really good tabs on us back in high school, so I did skip a lot, but I never got in trouble for it.
Did you do senior skip day?
No.
Oh, see, I did.
No.
But I signed my. Seems like I know I signed my mom's name for something. So, yeah, I know that's what happened. Did you?
Oh, the things you don't want your children to know when they're in school.
Yeah, I do know that. I don't remember what the circumstances was, but I know I signed papers. Yeah. Please excuse Tammy for this day, and she didn't even know I had stayed home that day. Yeah, that happened. Did you take driver's ed in high school?
No, they didn't offer that.
I did. I took driver's ed. I don't think I learned anything, but I did take driver's ed.
They quit doing it ours because the insurance for the car or something. I can't remember what it was.
One more question. Did you ever dissect anything in science?
Yes, a frog.
We did a frog too. So if you've enjoyed these questions, let us know in the comments below if you want to answer any of them. I know we have a lot of viewers from other people in other countries. I would love to hear how your experiences differ from ours. I'm sure it's completely different. So I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.
I'm curious if Dixie still has the same music room. It used to be a forest, and you sat on they had these trees,
Sit on the stumps.
And you sit on stumps as the stools, and it was like in a pyramid, and it was different layers.
I can't imagine them.
And it was all painted with trees, and the carpet was a path in grass, like it was brown path and green carpet.
Yeah, I cannot imagine that still being there after all that. I mean, you're talking about
30, 40.
You're 52.
40 some years ago.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
I don't know. They still had the Star Trek curtains hanging in the library last time we went in there. Of course, that's been 20 years ago. But
that's absolutely nuts in itself.
Yeah. Those are ones we made. Remember I told you that we actually laid them all down?
Yeah.